on News Hour tonight. Northwest APC governors, lawmakers unite behind Tinubu's 2027 ambition. 1 dead, 3 rescued from collapsed 2-story house in Lagos. Tomato farmers eye economic gains on the Nigeria First policy. And on the foreign scene, Pope Leo calls for peace in Gaza, Myanmar and Ukraine at the end of his inaugural Mass. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. We begin the news with political matters. The Northwest Zone of the All Progressives Congress APC has formally endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for re-election in the 2027 presidential election, passing a vote of confidence in his leadership. The endorsement came at a high-level stakeholders meeting held on Saturday in Kaduna. The report.
The gathering brought together key political figures including all governors from the Northwest, the Speaker House of Representatives, the Deputy Senate President and former governors from the region. Also present were APC National Chairman Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, Chairman of State Chapters, State and Federal Lawmakers, Ministers, Heads of Federal Agencies, and senior political appointees from the region. A communique read by APC Northwest Coordinating Governor and Kaduna State Governor Senator Obasani, the zone reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to the party and declared total support for President Tinubu's vision for Nigeria.
Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I am extremely proud to reiterate a fact that we all know so well. The Northwest is the heartbeat of the APC. I want to say without any fear of contradiction that our zone has, in the nearly 2 years of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, been treated with utmost respect, dignity, and equitable.
The Speaker House of Representatives Sajuddin Abbas and APC National Chairman Abdullahi Umar Ganduje also addressed the meeting, emphasizing the need for unity within the party and the importance of consolidating developmental gains ahead of the 2027 polls.
This approach is essential for securing significant federal attention and ensuring that the needs of our region are effectively met. In light of these present concerns, it becomes clear that our party's success in the Northwest will ultimately depend on our ability to ensure these issues are systematically addressed.
This is so important in making planning for the elections and also in ensuring that we have our number at the tips of our fingers. It is not only that, there are so many variables involved which will certainly help us during the electioneering campaign and also during conducting the election.
The endorsement by the Northwest, one of Nigeria's most politically influential zones, represents a significant boost for President Tinubu's re-election prospects as the political landscape begins to shift towards the next election cycle.
Still talking politics, a fresh crisis has erupted in the People's Democratic Party, PDP, following the Saraki-led reconciliation panel's endorsement of Senator Samuel Anyau's return as National Secretary. A decision has drawn sharp rebuke from party governors, the Board of Trustees, and top officials who argue the move sidesteps an earlier consensus that appointed Setonji Koshoedo as acting secretary. Critics say the panel acted without broad consultation, raising fears of renewed factionalism ahead of the May 27 NEC meeting and the August convention. PDP insiders warn the controversy may further fracture the party as it prepares for the 2027 polls. Now, away from political matters, a 2-story building under construction has collapsed in the Idiaraba area of Mushin, Lagos State, trapping an unspecified number of workers beneath the rubble. The incident occurred around 3:50 p.m. on Sunday along Ishaga Road, directly opposite the Central Mosque. Rescue officials confirmed that 2 individuals have so far been pulled out alive and taken to the hospital for treatment. According to Ibrahim Farinloye, territorial coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in the southwest, emergency responders are on site working to locate and rescue more victims. Now talking security, at least 24 residents of Koronamuda in Zamfara State were abducted and 4 women killed during a bandit attack in the early hours of Saturday. The heavily armed attackers stormed the town around 2 a.m., firing sporadically and moving from house to house. Most of the abducted victims were women and children. The incident occurred days after a federal lawmaker, Aminu Sani Jaji, raised concerns about worsening insecurity in the constituency. Residents say the attack lasted over 3 hours with no response from security forces. 4 women were reportedly killed for resisting abduction. Last week, locals staged a peaceful protest over the rising banditry and lack of government intervention. Efforts to reach the state police spokesperson, Yazid Abubakar, were unsuccessful as of press time. At least 15 farmers were killed and 3 others injured in a deadly bandit attack on Waje community in Kebbi's Danko Wasagu local government area. During a condolence visit, Deputy Governor Senator Umar Tafida, representing Governor Nasser Idris, announced support for the bereaved families and pledged stronger security in the troubled border region. A district head of Waje and local government chairman confirmed the casualty figures, with the community pleading for more security to protect farmlands and stem cross-border incursions from neighboring Niger, Zamfara, and Sokoto states. Now, security operatives have arrested a wanted kidnapped suspect, Yahaya Zango, at the Hajj camp in Abuja during routine screening of pilgrims preparing for airlifts to Saudi Arabia. Zango, a resident of Paikon Kore in Gwagwalada Area Council, had been on the watch list for alleged involvement in multiple abductions. Sources at the camp and the Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board confirmed the arrest, though the DSS is yet to release an official statement. The abducted chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC in Ward 5, Ifon Ose local government area of Ondo State, Nelson Adepoyigi, has been killed by his captors. The chairman of Ose local government area, Clement Kolapo Ojo, confirmed the killing in a statement on Sunday, noting that while 2 ransom bearers earlier held by the kidnappers have regained their freedom, Adepoyigi was brutally murdered in captivity. Adepoyigi was kidnapped Monday evening at the entrance of his house along the Ifon Owo Road. His abductors initially demanded 100 million naira ransom, later reduced to 5 million naira. A fresh 30 million naira demand was made after they detained 2 negotiators. Local officials mourned the killing as evidence of the deepening security crisis, while the police have launched an investigation. Now in Kwara State, at least 27 people have died in a boat accident in Bajibo community, Kayama local government area of the state. The victims were returning from a market in Niger State when their overloaded boat capsized due to strong winds and an approaching storm. The exact number of passengers remains unknown. Local government chairman Abdullah Ladi visited the victims' families and announced plans to enforce life jacket use, ban night travel, and establish a safety committee. The Emir of Kayama, Alhaji Muazu Umar, also pledged to intensify awareness campaigns on water travel safety. This incident comes months after a similar tragedy in October 2023, where over 60 people died in the same area. President Tinubu had then directed the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, to investigate and curb boat mishaps nationwide. In other news, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) has uncovered an attempt to smuggle cocaine hidden in traditional Nigerian male caps and female headgears, fila and gili. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi disclosed this via his official X handle on Sunday, warning Nigerians to be cautious when asked to transport traditional attire abroad on behalf of others. In related operations, the NDLEA arrested 2 octogenarians, 80-year-old Ayuba Ashiru and 82-year-old Uloma Uchechi Sunday, along with her 32-year-old daughter Chisom Uchechi, in separate raids across the country. The agency also intercepted opioids worth over 3.2 billion naira at Apapa Seaport in Lagos and Port Harcourt Port, Rivers State. Ayuba, a convicted drug dealer who served a 10-year jail term from 2014 to 2024, was rearrested on May 14, 2025 in Sabongari local government area of Kaduna State. Officers recovered 2.3 kg of skunk packaged in retail sizes. He confessed to being in the drug trade for 4 to 6 years. In Abia State, NDLEA operatives raided Uloma's home on May 17th, recovering methamphetamine, tramadol, skunk, and 130,600 naira in cash. She admitted continuing the drug business with her daughter after her son's death 2 years ago. The NDLEA says it will continue its nationwide crackdown on drug trafficking. The Katsina State Police Command has apprehended 4 suspected drug traffickers attempting to smuggle narcotics into Maradi, Niger Republic. Police spokesperson Abubakar Sadiq said a search yielded 5,000 Exalt tablets and 430 tramadol pills. During interrogation, the suspects confessed to the crime and identified their supplier as one Abba from the FCT who remains at large. Commissioner of Police CP Bello Shehu commended the officers for their swift action and reiterated the command's resolve to curb drug trafficking and all criminal activities in the state. He urged the public to support police efforts by reporting suspicious movements and illegal dealings. Now in Plateau, tomato farmers and industry experts in the state are optimistic about the federal government's Nigeria First policy, which prioritizes local agricultural production over imports. They say the policy could transform the tomato value chain, boost farmer income, and stimulate economic growth. Trust TV's Ado Musa reports.
Stakeholders believe the policy, by encouraging the local sourcing and discouraging imports, has the potential to revive Nigeria's tomato processing industry, create jobs, and reduce the huge post-harvest losses that have plagued the sector. Farmers in Plateau State are welcoming the initiative as a step in the right direction. They said it could increase their confidence to expand production and raise household income.
They should rely on local production than foreign. Because if we don't rely on local production, the next time or the next thing will happen, our farmer will relax. You are not encouraging them. When you encourage them, I think they will do best.
The federal government insists to do, they bring a good decision.
We welcome this development and pray for its successful implementation. While previous efforts raised doubts, we believe this initiative could bring lasting results. Supporting local products is essential for national growth. At the Paringada market, tomato buyers also weigh in, expressing hope that the policy will stabilize prices and improve product quality.
Well, I think them stopping importing tomato from outside will really not matter. That's my take, because I still believe we have the best tomato when it comes to taste. Well, first of all, the imported tomatoes are mostly sour and they are mostly processed, of which is not fair. But the local one is much better because it's not sour, it comes directly from the ground. And if the government should stop importing, it is better because it is more revenue for the farmers.
Musa Ubali, Secretary of the Tomato Market in Palangada and State Organizing Secretary of the National Tomato Growers and Processors Association of Nigeria, emphasized the broader economic implications of the policy, saying it could reposition Nigeria as a hub for tomato processing in West Africa.
If the policy is being commencing in Nigeria, the tomatoes farmers will be encouraged to promote, to produce more product to the consumer in Nigeria. Because without the policy, most of the tomato farmers, they have been discouraged after being in the occupation of farming of tomatoes. And there is another importation of similar product from another country that will discourage most of the farmers.
Isa Abdullahi, a lecturer at the Federal University Kashere, said, for the policy to succeed, the government must invest in infrastructure, processing facilities, and access to credit for smallholder farmers.
Well, I think my problem with the state governments today is most of their departments are actually not much functioning. But in those days, agricultural development programs of the states were really functional. But these days, we have you hardly get to hear about them. And they need to play critical role in the development of agricultural society of Nigeria. They can leverage on it. If the government wants definitely to do this program and it wants the program to be successful, they will definitely need to get a financial system for the program.
Experts also argue that increasing import tariffs and applying taxes on the foreign tomato paste will give local producers a competitive edge, making Nigeria's tomato industry more self-sufficient and resilient. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And now in Bauchi, the federal government says more barrels of crude oil are expected from northern Nigeria as Governor Bala Abdul Kadir Muhammad leads the groundbreaking ceremony for the Oil and Gas Academy in Alkaleri local government area of Bauchi State. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Senator Heineken Lopobri, made the remark while referencing the Kolmani oil exploration project in the Northeast region. Trust TV's Adamu Imam reports from the groundbreaking ceremony.
Petroleum experts and key stakeholders from across the country gathered in Alkaleri, Bauchi State to witness the groundbreaking of the Oil and Gas Academy. The event marked a major step in the Bauchi State government's commitment to building a skilled workforce by investing in oil and gas education to drive a sustainable economy.
Let me conclude by calling on the youth, who are going to be trained in this institution to please own this institution. Take it as your own. Take advantage of the opportunity you have to be trained so that you can be globally employed. I will work with, the government of Bauchi State to ensure that all certifications that are needed are done timelessly.
In his remarks, Governor Bala Muhammad expressed gratitude for the federal government's support, noting that the initiative further positions Bauchi and neighboring Gombe among Nigeria's emerging oil-producing states.
Bauchi State government, through the Ministry of Natural Resources, has identified PetroEdo, a reputable petroleum, oil and gas training organization based in Texas, in the United States of America, that is certified by the International Association of Drilling Contractors to partner with us in training of graduate engineers, scientists, and technicians for professional certification in core oil and gas courses.
Other stakeholders commended the governor's commitment to economic transformation, saying his efforts will leave a lasting impact.
Your Excellency, your foresight to start this school will not only provide the manpower for this industry, which will be the premier oil industry in the north, and which will eventually lay the foundation of real solid unity and political cohesion in the country. Your Excellency, since you took over the mantle of leadership of Bauchi State 6 years ago, you have provided through your utterances.
The Emir of Bauchi, Dr. Ruwanu Suleiman Adamu, led other traditional leaders at the historic event. He urged host communities to seize the opportunities brought by the oil discovery in the region. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
This is News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up ahead. One woman's fight against cancer reveals the painful truth behind Nigeria's battle with the disease. This and many more when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back from the break. In case you just joined in, this is News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Northwest APC governors, lawmakers unite behind Tinubu's 2027 ambition. And one dead, 3 rescued from collapsed 2-story house in Lagos. Moving on to more stories, the Kano State Censorship Board has indefinitely banned all Kauyawa Day celebrations and shut down event centers across the state. Addressing journalists on Saturday, Executive Secretary Abba El Mustafa said the action follows a new amendment to the board's establishment law signed by Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf. He noted that the law gives the board power to regulate DJs, event organizers and venues, adding that events under the Villagers Day label now violate state regulations. El Mustafa urged traditional leaders and security outfits like Hizbah to enforce compliance with the directive. Now, for many Nigerians, a cancer diagnosis marks not just a medical battle, but the beginning of emotional, physical, and financial hardship. According to the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, Nigeria records over 120,000 new cancer cases annually, with more than 79,000 lives lost each year. Nearly 1 in 3 Nigerians is affected by cancer, either directly or through a loved one. In this special report, Lillian Ogazi explores the cost, the care gaps, and the human toll of cancer in Nigeria through the story of a survivor and a fighter. Her report.
In 2019, Maimuna Yempa Baru's life took a dramatic turn. Young, vibrant, full of life, a wife and mother, her world came to a standstill when she was diagnosed with colorectal cancer.
I was diagnosed of colorectal cancer 2019, around November. I was living in another state in Adamawa, working for an NGO, and I was defecating blood for almost 5 to 6 months. I didn't know it was cancer. So then I resigned. I joined my husband in Sokoto State. So that was when we started investigation, blood work, CEA, all the thing. Then they did colonoscopy. So when they did colonoscopy, they removed some biopsy. Then we flew from Sokoto to Abuja National Hospital. We did histology. Then after 3 days, it was confirmed. It was adenocarcinoma.
But her fight didn't stop with the diagnosis. Maimuna endured over 10 surgeries in Nigeria, some of which led to further complications. Her search for healing took her from Nigeria to India and ultimately to the United States of America. There, a final surgery saved her life, but not without lasting consequences.
We were racing against time because, don't forget, I've been defecating 5 to 6 months blood, and we don't know the stage at which the cancer was. So somebody advised us back home. I'm from Gombe State, my husband is from Adamawa. So they advised us to go to India. So we started looking for money. We started looking for money here and there. One of our friends advised us. We were just all over the place. Emotions were running here and there looking for money. Then we went to apply for a visa for India and they gave us. So we flew into India.
According to the World Health Organization, Nigeria sees over 127,000 new cases each year, with more than 79,000 deaths from cancer-related complications. Behind every number, is a family caught in a fight they're often unprepared for.
I must say that the burden of cancer in Nigeria, just like in most North-American countries, increasing. We are not winning the war. Also, more Nigerians are coming down with cancer. More Nigerians are dying of cancer. And it's a concern to us because we thought, based on several age-long intervention, that the curve should be down, but the curve is still increasing. It's upwards as we speak. And there are several factors actually contributing to that. And those factors have been the traditional factors.
Yet, not everyone is giving up. Across the country, advocates, many of them young, are stepping up, raising awareness, supporting patients, and pushing for early detection.
I think there is gross lack of awareness when it comes to cancer amongst the youth. The only thing that they have in abundance is the fear of cancer. But when you talk about prevention, I think the current generation are clueless when it comes to prevention of cancer. This is what we've been trying to do. And that is the reason behind creation of the Youth Coalition Against Cancer. We are the first cohort. This is our first 10 years too. So we are just kick-starting and that's our target.
Medical experts warn that lifestyle factors such as poor diet, physical inactivity, and limited access to screening are putting more young Nigerians at risk.
There are many signs that individuals show. We should generally be self-aware. We encourage individuals to be generally self-aware whenever they find any changes in their body. For example, a change in bowel habit may just be a normal thing. Maybe you've changed your diet or you've gone to a different place where there are so many other factors.
For survivors like Maimuna, the scars run deep, but her voice has become part of a growing movement for change.
One day at a time, that's my slogan, eyes on my God. You understand? So I empty it, I take care of my children. I'm a very strong woman being. I am resilient. I have a strong will. Like my daddy would say, you are a very strong woman who goes through this thing and will be bubbly, will be laughing. Like my name means the giver of joy. Is in Hausa, Murna means joy. So I give joy. I am always happy. I don't allow situation to bring me down.
Cancer is not a death sentence, she says. But in Nigeria, it often feels like one. From underfunded hospitals to overwhelmed families, the fight against cancer must go beyond survival. It must champion dignity, access, and awareness. For Maimuna, for every Nigerian. Lilian Ogazi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
In other news, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, has raised alarm over the technical failures that marred the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME), warning that the lapses risk eroding public trust in Nigeria's education system. Addressing journalists on Sunday, Kalu commended JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oleyede for acknowledging that the system errors that affected nearly 380,000 candidates in Lagos and the Southeast and for offering receipts. However, he maintained that the damage, especially the emotional toll, including the tragic suicide of a candidate, could not be reversed by remedial tests alone. Technical investigations revealed that a vital system patch was not installed in 157 CBT centers, resulting in widespread result errors. An independent audit by the Educare technical team confirmed the malfunction, linking more than 14,000 corrupted records to these centers. Kalu proposed a 5-point reform agenda, including a full technical overhaul, independent audits, protection for affected candidates, transparent results disclosures, and enhanced system monitoring protocols.
However, we must recognize that these measures, while necessary, do not erase the trauma, disruption, and uncertainty experienced by our young people and their families. Nigeria unfortunately lost a UTME candidate to suicide, consequentially triggered by the ensuing results of this technical glitch.
The Borno State government has restated its commitment to tackling the challenge of out-of-school children, many of whom are vulnerable to terrorist recruitment. Speaking at the launch of a Train the Trainer workshop for 600 Sangaya and Islamia teachers across the Northeast, a deputy governor emphasized that investing in education remains key to achieving long-term peace and economic stability in the region. He charged participants to embrace the knowledge and skills to be imparted during the training and in turn become mentors and agents of change in their communities. The deputy governor also expressed confidence that the program would help reduce the number of out-of-school children, aligning with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, which aims to reposition the education sector for greater inclusivity and access to quality learning.
As we gather today, as the Babagana Umar has before, we are reminded of the resilience, vision, and dedication required to overcome the challenges faced by our region. The focus on training trainers is particularly strategic. Now, by investing in those who educate others, we have multiplying impact, fostering sustainability, and ensuring that knowledge flows continuously into our schools and institutions.
By deepening our teachers' understanding of Arabic language, especially in the critical area of grammatical rules and phonological accuracy, this training seeks to prevent the misapplication and misinterpretation of Arabic grammar that can sometimes lead to doctrinal confusion or misunderstanding. Let me use this opportunity to acknowledge unwavering commitment and the giant strides of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, in repositioning the Nigerian education system in line with the renewed hope agenda.
In a heartwarming display of integrity, Assistant Commandant Abubakar Abdul Kader of the NSCDC returned 822,038 naira in lost funds to a pilgrim in Yola. The money, which included $505 and 30 Saudi riyals, were returned to Maimuna Salihu of Taraba State during an official handover witnessed by NACOM officials. The act of honesty has been widely commended as pilgrims prepare for their journey to the Holy Land. The Bauchi State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps has cautioned drivers against embarking on night journeys to reduce the risk of losing innocent lives on Nigerian highways. This advisory was given during a road show held to commemorate the 8th United Nations Global Road Safety Week, which takes place annually from May 12th to 18th. Trust TV's Adamu Imam reports.
The 2025 United Nations Global Road Safety Week kicked off with a road show and awareness campaign urging motorists to prioritize safety, especially while driving at night. The Bauchi State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps emphasized its efforts to discourage night travel under the theme Streets for Life, Make Walking Safe.
And we are telling members of the motoring public that they should consider pedestrians when they are on the road. And people also, cyclists, when they are on the road, they should also consider them, and they should behave in a way that they also consider the safety of pedestrians.
In response to the concern raised about night driving, the leadership of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, stated that it regularly sensitizes its members on road safety precautions, adding that it also educates drivers to always consider the safety of their passengers.
It's an issue that we have been engaging our members that they should deviate or shy away from driving in the night, particularly the insecurity that we're experiencing today in our country. The issue of banditry, the issue of terrorism is all over everywhere.
The risk of our drivers having an accident is minimal because of routine sensitization of our members on the need to always be cautious and observe road safety rules, especially at night. The Corps also reiterated its commitment to ensuring that all personnel uphold professionalism while carrying out operations on major Nigerian highways in the interest of public safety. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And now on a side note, at least 7 people were killed and 16 others injured in a tragic truck crash in Kacha local government area of Niger State. The accident occurred around 3 a.m. on Sunday in the Essa community and involved a truck transporting grain allocations from the federal government and carrying 36 male passengers traveling from Lagos to Kano. According to the Director General of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Abdullahi Baba-Ara, the crash was caused by poor road conditions along unrepaired portions of the Lambata-Bida route. Emergency responders, villagers and commuters rushed to the scene for rescue efforts. 11 victims sustained severe injuries while 5 others suffered minor wounds. Some were treated at health centers in Badegi and Agay. Relatives quickly claimed most of the deceased, while the Niger State Emergency Management Agency urged motorists to exercise caution, especially at night, and called for urgent completion of road rehabilitation to prevent further tragedies. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET has forecasted a combination of sunny weather and thunderstorms across the country from Sunday through Tuesday. Sunday will begin with sunny skies nationwide, followed by afternoon and evening thunderstorms in parts of the northwest, north central and southern states such as Gombe, Kaduna, Taraba, Lagos and Rivers. Similar weather conditions are expected to continue on Monday and Tuesday, with isolated thunderstorms predicted in many regions including the Federal Capital Territory, Plateau, Adamawa and Cross River. NIMET has urged residents to take precautions by securing loose objects, avoid traveling during heavy rains, and staying away from tall trees to prevent injuries from falling branches. Airline operators are also advised to consult NIMET for accurate weather updates to ensure safe flight operations. You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. More news after the break. Many thanks for staying with us. In case you just joined in, this is News Hour on Trust TV. And now in business, the diversification from dependence on oil to exploring other avenues has now yielded results for Qatar, making it one of the tourism hubs in the Middle East region and the world. Doha, the capital city of Qatar, which has been rapidly developing over the last 2 decades, has now become a business hub for visitors and Qataris alike. Trust TV's Bello, who is in Doha, completes the story.
The growing influence of Qatar as a tourist hub is undeniable from a close look at this thriving city. This is the city center in Doha, where towering skyscrapers greet you on arrival. Though small in size and population covering approximately 11,000 square meters, with a population of about 3 million, including immigrants, Qatar's fast-growing economy attracts business activities from around the globe.
Fast-growing country. This is one of the fastest-growing country in the world because simply His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, he's a very intelligent and smart young emir, or what we call prince, and he is doing all possible to enhance and support the economy here by diversifying all the income and the revenue, not only depending on the gas and the petrol, but also the tourism. Nowadays it is on the spot.
Tourism in Qatar is booming due to peaceful nature of the country.
And frankly speaking, it's a very nice country. It's a very peaceful country. Kindly don't hesitate to come to visit Qatar. Qatar is considered like one of the safest country in all over the world.
African nationals here believe that for the continent to achieve greatness, it should copy the playbook of Qatar.
So it's a beautiful experience. I think it's a wonderful experience. I mean, right from the start, we've seen the history of this country, where it has come from and where it is right now, and how its future looks like. I mean, so from Lusail to the new Doha, now to the old Doha, and to this old port, it doesn't look necessarily old. And the FIFA Lagos 2022 World Cup Lagos, I mean, all packaged together, I mean, tell a story of the country and the people on the rise. And I mean, our experience cannot be taught better than this. I think it's been a wonderful experience. I mean, sightseeing has been wonderful.
This Qatar we are seeing here wasn't the Qatar I saw in 2010 when we came here. Look at the tremendous development. It's leadership.
The state of Qatar's diverse cultural heritage attracts visitors from around the globe, eager to explore and experience the country's captivating history and traditions. From Doha, in Qatar, Bello Musa reporting for Trust TV News.
Now, away from Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was among the over 150 world leaders who attended the inauguration of Pope Leo XIV as the 267th Bishop of Rome at the Vatican on Sunday. The Nigerian president was invited to Rome by the new Pope, who underscored the need for Tinubu's physical presence at this moment of particular importance for the Catholic Church. Kainde Amudu reports.
The Grand Papal inauguration at St. Peter's Square in Vatican City marks the official start of the papacy of Pope Leo XIV. Tens of thousands are attending this significant ceremony, including world leaders, royalty, dignitaries, religious leaders from other faiths, and pilgrims from across the world. Among these dignitaries is the Nigerian president, who, despite being a Muslim, received a special invitation from the new Pope. The Pope has a special connection to Nigeria because of the large Catholic following in the country. But on a personal note, Pope Leo XIV had worked in the Apostolic Nunciature in Lagos in the 1980s. President Tinubu is pleased to honor this papal invitation as it exemplifies Nigeria's unity in diversity.
It's consistent in the true sense of unity in diversity. And I'm greatly honored. We have to continue to work on it. It's a work in progress for the sake of our country and the continent as a whole.
Members of the Nigerian delegation point out the significance of this visit.
Not just to the Muslim community, but to the entire Christian community. He has shown that this solidarity with the millions of people who are of the Catholic faith in Nigeria by attending this Mass, being himself a Muslim. This has also shown his commitment to the advancement of peace, not just in the African region, but globally also.
He's a man who's tolerant of all religions, and who believes in interfaith harmony, and who has even demonstrated it by the kind of appointments he made. I read somewhere that the president has made over, out of his cabinet, 62% of them are Christians.
So it shows the fact that a Muslim president can be accepted and is liberal to carry the whole country along. So he represents not only the Muslim faith, but also Christians in Nigeria.
Nigeria has a large Catholic following, rating among the top 15 countries in the world by population. Interestingly, only 15% of the Nigerian population is Catholic, which is roughly one-third of the Nigerian Christian population. Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Now, at the close of his inaugural Mass, Pope Leo XIV called for peace in Gaza, Ukraine, and Myanmar, urging a return to dialogue and justice. Addressing an estimated 200,000 pilgrims at St. Peter's Square, Leo prayed for those suffering hunger and violence, particularly in Gaza and conflict-ravaged Myanmar. He said he felt the spiritual presence of Pope Francis as he delivered the Regina Caeli from the altar.
In the joy of faith and communion, we cannot forget our brothers and sisters who are suffering because of war. In Gaza, the surviving children, families and elderly are reduced to starvation. In Myanmar, new hostilities have cut short innocent young lives. Finally, war in Ukraine awaits negotiations for a just and lasting peace.
And now in sports, Nigeria's Flying Eagles sealed a third-place finish at the Total Energies CAF Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2025 after defeating host Egypt 4-1 on penalties in a thrilling bronze medal match on Sunday. The tie had ended 1-1 after regulation time, with Egypt's Omar Osama opening the scoring in the 3rd minute before Nigeria equalized through Bidemi Amole just 2 minutes into the second half. In a tense shootout at the 30 June Stadium, it was goalkeeper Ajia Yakubu who emerged as the hero for Nigeria, saving Egypt's second and third sport kicks in sensational fashion to hand the West Africans the edge. The Flying Eagles held their nerve from 12 yards, converting 4 straight penalties with clinical precision, while Egypt faltered under pressure. This victory ensures that Nigeria wraps up their AFCON Under-20 campaign on a high note, finishing on the podium and reaffirming their status as one of Africa's most successful youth sides. With a World Cup ticket already secured, the bronze medal adds another layer of pride to a campaign marked by resilience, tactical discipline, and emerging youth talent ready to shine on the global stage. Favor Ofili has made history, becoming the first woman to run the 150 meters in under 16 seconds, clocking 15.85 seconds at the Adidas Atlanta City Games. The 24-year-old Nigerian broke the 2018 record of 16.23 seconds, extending her legacy as a top-tier sprinter. Ofili's milestone comes after a string of standout performances, including an Olympic final appearance and a 200-meter indoor African record. And with that, we wrap up News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all social media platforms for more programs, news, and documentaries. I am Dorcas Yakub Zala. Good night.